Hello, Z Nation fans, and welcome back to the AFTERBUZZ TV Z Nation After Show. We are covering the completely insane season finale, Everyone Dies in the End, and we will see you after the opening if we're all still alive.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
See, I feel like that was a bit of a misnomer because, for the most part, they're all still alive. It was just heavily implied that they're not going to make it through the next 30 seconds. Yes? No?
Locking it
And
up.
for those of you listening on iTunes, we're getting the lock and key. Hello, Z Nation fans. Welcome back. It has been a crazy season and a crazy season finale. We are looking at Z Nation Season 3, Episode 15. Everyone Dies in the End.
Ain't that the truth?
Evidently. With me is the wonderful Michelle Cullen.
Hey everyone, you can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
Megan was not able to join us tonight. She is currently climbing the side of a very large stone wall. You can find her on Twitter at TheMenguin, that is TheMenguin. I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet, that is Kiaxet. We have the hashtag ABTVZNation. We have the live chat if you're watching live on YouTube. In case you have any questions for our very special guests, we have Kellita Smith, Warren herself.
Hola.
And we have Abram Cox, tonight's director.
Hola. Hola. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
No, darling. No.
That's what's going to be happening tonight, y'all. So,
I'm so
stay
excited.
tuned. And if you're listening on iTunes, we really super love you for doing so. And we will do the iTunes push and the review read at the end of the episode. But you should also really be watching on YouTube because I feel like the facial expressions are just going to be great for this one.
They're going to be everything. Everything.
It's just gonna be a lot of blush.
Can we just start off with a toast to
And
the
toast to
season 3 finale?
Season
Yes,
3.
and all the
Clink.
contributions to the cast
Clink.
and the crew and everybody that put their hard work, blood, sweat, and tears.
And thank you for bringing in the champagne.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
most welcome. You owe me.
Thank you. I do.
money.
Yeah. No
Wow,
problem.
okay.
Okay, all right.
So now that
Deferred.
we have this party started, what did everyone think of the episode?
I know. What did you think?
Oh my goodness.
Did you see it, tell the truth?
Did I what?
Did you? That means
Yes.
No.
You saw it. What do you think?
Z Nation cannot go through a season finale without being like, they might all be dead. Tune in next season. Like, we're
for
3
Doc.
for 3 at this point.
Right?
Yeah, well, I guess last season was, well, some of them are probably dead and some of them are definitely surrounded by an army, so it's a wash. But this one's like, no, they're all going to die. Charging my lasers.
Addie just
I'm
really
good.
wanted to go cliff jumping. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh,
I just,
Like,
well, the high altitude might make you high.
it might. You know that rush of adrenaline from climbing up a mountain?
But
It's like,
wasn't that
let's
hot,
just jump
though?
down.
That was so hot
That
that
was.
she was able to. They were able to give the, not the illusion, because she did climb the mountain, but it was so beautiful how they made it seem like she really climbed a real mountain.
so was
Yeah.
that green screened, or were there pieces built into the set that she was on for some of those scenes and then the rest of it CGI, or how did that go down?
There's only one green screen shot in there.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everything else is practical, and then I mean, you know, we're erasing ropes, but
Yeah.
Well, yes.
I mean, the more you shoot practically, the better it is.
Yeah.
I mean, there in fact a lot of times we'll opt not to do green screens just so that and it forces us sometimes to do rotoscope and whatnot, just because it looks better.
Yeah.
You know, just the reality between the foreground and the
Yeah.
background.
And that's what we like. We like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We might be crazy, but we like
I mean,
that.
and you do the best you can. I mean, you got to realize, like, I think everybody's heard me say this before, but like, we prep in 5 days, we shoot in 6 days.
Yeah.
We sometimes we shoot in 5 days, and then within 5 weeks, we've done the entire episode. So that's including the visual effects. So
Within a week, we've done an entire episode.
well, within 6 days, we've done the shoot, and then
Yeah.
after that, like, it's it's a roller coaster to the finish.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're working. Just saying. I'm
It's
going to drink
true.
on that one.
Yeah, right down to the wire for this. So where were you shooting for this one? I heard you'd moved to Oregon?
No,
No.
we were in
Yellowstone?
Western Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Snohomish.
Mm-hmm.
I said it wrong again.
Oh,
I did it right this time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was calling it all kind of other stuff.
Manamana.
You
Yeah,
know,
that part.
tomato.
And index, and well, index is part of
An index.
Snohomish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snohomish,
absolutely.
Washington.
And then what was that island we were on? We were on an island. It was really cool.
Wind Bay.
Is that what it was? I'm
No.
gonna go with you. I'm gonna follow
Okay, don't
your
go
lead
with
on
me.
this.
Don't go with me. It was an island though.
All right, internet, help us out. Just help us out. I'm sure the info's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Geography lesson. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, champagne's already hit me. We're gonna have a real fun
Really?
episode tonight. No, I
Hey,
just
we have another bottle.
Do you really?
No, I'm
Do you
kidding.
really?
no,
No.
it's one of those days, y'all.
Weed's
No.
legal in California now.
Not till January. It needs to be ratified. It's not till,
Oh,
not till
that's
like
right.
January.
That's right.
Well, even though I was
2 weeks.
in the episode, I enjoyed the season finale. I liked it. I thought it had. I thought everybody got a nice little thread line to being able to be interested in where everyone goes after this. I think we had enough backstory of enough of us in the cast, because sometimes, what was the last finale where it wasn't everybody?
oh yeah.
Yeah, and so this time it was like everybody plus 5K and Red and you know the Sunmay, and I feel like we all had like enough meat for people to care about what happens for season 4.
Yeah.
I will say I'm very glad that we had a very Addie-centric episode right before this one, because I feel like she didn't have a heck of a lot to do in the finale. She spent most of her time climbing a cliff.
That
and
is
took
a
a
lot
swan
to
dive
do.
off of it.
That's a lot.
She was climbing a mountain.
That's
you know?
a lot.
Sometimes that's all that takes.
I just
It's
mean
just
more
climb
that-
the mountain.
We didn't get to see a lot of her this episode.
Yeah.
Well, I think this whole season it was broken up on purpose. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
do 5 seasons and it's always the same season. You can't do that. You have to
5
break
seasons.
it up. You have seasons?
5 seasons.
Well, we gotta go 5. We gotta
6
go 5.
seasons in a movie.
Well, you for television, 5 seasons allow you for
Syndication.
and overseas stuff and for revenue that comes after that. So
Okay.
that is the magic number. And so in order to really do 5 seasons, you kind of have to experiment with being able to play with other characters at different times. Doesn't mean that the writers like them less. It's just there's certain characters that move things in a season. Period.
Also, like finales are interesting because they're figured out way in advance. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
You guys figured that out?
Like the who's going to be doing what in what finale. Like, it's no accident that Addie had a pretty big episode right before this. But then, like, you go into the things that you get to play around with, or you get to play around with like the moments. But you've got a ton of and I remember hearing Carl talk about this. I've heard John talk about this. Is finales, you've got so much plot that you've got to get through.
Yeah.
And you've got like you're just trying to like boom 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 push the information forward. So
And we have a big ensemble.
Yeah.
So you guys knew you wanted to shoot me in the beginning?
How do you feel
I'm
about
sorry,
that?
I didn't tell you. I knew you
I'm
were
just
getting
saying.
shot for a long time.
Did you?
I did.
I
Yeah, in
didn't
front of the
know.
camera every day.
I
mean, what?
You said what?
No, I'm making terrible puns about the double meaning of English.
That's all right.
How did you feel when you read that in the script?
I immediately started looking at my contract. I was like, I thought it was. You know what? This is what I think about my show. I think my show is adventurously fun for me. So I don't really get caught up in what's supposed to be legal about a zombie world or what's culturally correct. For me, it's just I get to play a character that most women like me don't get. And so I'm down for whatever. So if it's me getting shot and and however that turns out, that's great. If it's me silent until I become a leader, that's awesome. Like, I had no idea that I would end up being the leader. I thought it was great. I knew it turned some people's heads a different way, but I thought it was awesome that they were courageous enough to decide to go in that direction, because it's phenomenal. It's amazing that a female gets to lead in the I mean, it makes sense. It's the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Think about if it was Trump. Never
But
mind.
it's really, really fun to like take Kellita and put her in the ground. I like to
That got
find
kinda
ways to do that
terrifying.
in all kind of places. It's really hilarious.
And he's not the only one.
No, I'm not.
I think it's a running joke.
I
now.
think it's between me and Jason McKee how much we like to put you on the ground. It's
And
pretty
John
funny.
Himes.
And John Himes, yeah, the three of us, we
And I think
definitely
Dan
are.
Merchant's getting into it too.
I don't know.
I think he's getting into
but,
it, too.
But I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I think
But
it's
you
a running
do
thing.
but you do so well. Like it's like so I need you to like fall onto this section of ground right here, and it's like
And then I said, bring the broom.
it's like an atomic.
And then did we test the dirt? And then who's going to lay down first to make sure?
It's the best.
Who's gonna make the knee-shaped indent
and I'm
before I
always
get
like,
there?
you know,
Exactly.
I would do it if we had time, but we don't really have time, so I don't have time to show you that I would do it. But I would do
John
it for
Himes
you.
does it. John Himes said, I will never have you do anything that I wouldn't do. So usually when he asks me to do something, I'll do it. But like I was saying before, it's just awesome, the ride that we get as actors. And I'm quite sure that they would agree that these characters are unique and uniquely done. And there are things that we get to do. I mean, look at Addie. She gets to climb a freaking mountain.
Yeah, and when you look at you, you've become the leader of a gang,
Of an army.
of an army.
Of an army.
An army of
but-
survivors. A gang is different.
But hold
Made up of
on,
a gang.
but we brought it back from the precipice of it being
Insanity.
Yeah, because your character got a little crazy there for a bit.
a little dark, which
Yeah.
she
Which was
would.
cool. But it
Well,
was like,
you should
but
see me
but
during PMS.
but that was one of those things. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
I
just
know. You were
saying.
telling me, and on the day you smacked Keith, you said you were having PMS.
I did, and I said that felt so good.
I know, it was kind of crazy.
So,
but
yeah,
no,
if
what
you
I
wanna-
like is like I love like I like my favorite moments are like the little moments. Like I like the kiss on 10K's head. Like
That was
Yeah.
a sweet moment.
that's like okay, cool. We're here, and it's just like super fast, but those are exciting.
Yeah, and I felt like I needed to do that because sorry to cut you off. Because episode 10 when I roughed him up, and when I read that at the table read, I said, okay, so the 10K followers I had, I'm gonna lose them. just want y'all to know my social media numbers are gonna go down.
Well, 10K has been just the human health disaster all season. There's really no two ways around it. He's been that since towards the end of season 2, and then just this whole season, he's a blend. I hesitate to use the word possessed because that's not really it, but he's kind of mind controlled, and then he's hallucinating, and now he has an infected wound, and it's just like, you can't win.
Well, and I think it makes it interesting because now he can become anything.
I'm expecting him to turn blue and become the savior of humanity.
Yeah,
I don't think blue's
There's
the color.
precedent.
And
I actually-
that's not blue.
I actually just, when he came back to life, I pictured him with I tried to picture him with white hair. I was like, all right, this is the only knowledge I have of what happens after this. So what would 10K look like with pure white hair? I don't want to.
Well, in real life,
that's known as going
blonde.
in
full
real life, he's
anime.
blonde.
Is
Yeah,
he really?
he's blonde.
He's kind of hot. I'm just saying.
He's really blonde.
I don't think I've ever seen
I've never
him
seen a
blonde.
blonde picture.
He's blonde in real life.
Because I
and
thought he
he's kinda
dyed
hot.
his hair at one, and then he was like, "No, actually, they dye it for the show." Because
Yeah.
when I met him, he had dark hair. So when I finally saw him like with his natural hair color, I was sort of blown away.
Yeah, he's blonde, girls, and he looks amazing.
Internet, I need pictures.
And he looks good with black hair. Like he can go anyway. I mean, he's the both.
Nat, if
both
you're out
worlds.
there, please send in a picture
Please.
with your blonde hair and be shirtless. Thank you.
You said it, not me.
Yep.
Well, I was trying to help you out. You know, I mean,
I
look,
appreciate
Okay.
the
I'm already.
support.
Whoops, we're already over.
Nothing in there. You did good. You did good.
Don't worry, you got it before the table did. You were telling us off air, and I wonder if you want to share the story with the audience, the story behind the scene with you whacking Murphy one. When you hit him?
Smacked him. Oh, yeah. Well, this one over here. He was directing it. So we were rehearsing. So in rehearsal, I just kind of mimicked it. I'm thinking, we just want to see where it is and da-da-da. And he said, no, I need you to smack him. I said, but we were rehearsing. Like, I'm not, let me get into. He was like, I need you to get into it. I said, you want to smack him now? He said, I need you to smack him now. I said, Keith, did you hear that? He said, yeah, I heard it. He's gonna smack me. I said, you sure? I said, I'm PMS and I could really smack somebody right now. And so he said, smack me. And I smacked him. He said, okay, hold on. Hold on. And I said, I told y'all, I could do it in one take. Just let me know when we're ready to shoot it. We don't need to do this more than 3 times.
You look at me like oh yes, we're definitely doing it more than 3 times. Yeah, no, but Keith, he's great like that. You know, he's like, whatever the scene requires, let's do it, let's get it. And that's the great thing I think about how we've gelled over the years. It's like we trust each other enough to bring to the table what's necessary to make the scene work.
Nice.
Well, you guys have fantastic chemistry. The moment in this episode that actually stood out to me was Murphy saying to Warren, make the hard decision. It's what you're good at. Right. Just like, on one hand, yes, and on the other hand, this entire situation with 10K is your fault, Murphy.
Yeah.
Yep. You want to think about that for a minute?
I'm sorry, could I say that?
Yeah. Make the hard decision, excuse you.
Right.
Well, I don't necessarily know, like, you say it's his fault, but, like, the question becomes...
Because he saved him.
Well, I mean, yeah, like, what would have happened had he not? You know,
give him a vaccine.
Probably would have bled out. They would have given him a different vaccine. Then he wouldn't have been really immune. I mean, it's always easy to say in any situation, like, what's the Monday morning quarterback situation? And I think that that's my job at the studio here. Yeah, but I think I think that every person on the show thinks they're doing the right thing. I think Keith thinks he's doing the right thing. You think you're doing the right thing. Yeah, I think even when you know, like you weren't here when we talked about you cutting off Matt's head.
Oh.
That was a thing.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
It was a thing for me. And it not to cut you off, because now you done brought up the thing. Right. I know. You done brought up the thing.
You're going to cut off a guy's head, you know? I mean,
well, and it didn't really hit me until he was in front of me on his knees. And I paused, and he said, because he was the director of that episode, of course, of The Gore. And he said, I need you to do this. And I said, wait a minute. He said, well, how do you feel? I said, I don't know. I never decapitated anybody. Give me a second. Like, I need a second. And it hit me in that moment that it was a tug of war between investing in the fact that I have this person who I learned to love, who is now insane. Do I leave him this way again because I let him go knowing that something was not right? Or do I mercy him, and how invested I am in the sorrow of it as opposed to giving him peace? Mm-hmm. And I decided in that moment when you told me to do something, I said, I ain't doing that. I'm going to just do it. And just do it, giving him the peace. Yeah. Because it was not an easy thing to choose. So overall, the apocalypse, with everyone thinking they're doing the right thing, the apocalypse is something where it's a different beast. Like, doing the right thing is subjective.
Yeah. It's true. It's totally true.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I think it's weird though. You know, the one thing we never really showed like this off-camera love experience between you and Matt, but it's obvious that it happened. Like some kind of. Something happened off
played hide and go seek.
Somewhere between 6, you know what I'm saying? 6 and 10. Something happened in season 2 between 6 and 10.
We took a bath.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's totally true.
And like, the apocalypse, that's a luxury.
That is a luxury.
In a river.
It's true because like that they freaked out about the kiss.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. We freaked out about a lot of things.
I would say geeked out instead of freaked out. Well, I don't think I freaked.
Not freaked, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. You guys were,
in a good way, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like.
Well, I mean, we don't really get to.
How much the vapors?
I know. How do you get to experience like romancing the apocalypse? You got to go. You're on high alert. Mm-hmm. You know, you're almost scared to take your bra off. You're like, ooh, we got to run.
Yeah, but it seems like every time you get with a guy, he dies immediately afterwards.
Yeah. I know. Now, is that strategic? Could we talk about that?
Got a little black
Well,
widow.
that
thing
is
going on.
interesting.
Can I never have a man?
That might be, that might be your curse.
I don't
Or it
get a
might be your
man.
blessing.
I don't get a man.
Do
don't
you
get a
need-
boyfriend?
You don't need a man.
I don't need
You're
a man.
You're
but
strong.
I am, but sometimes I want to be weak.
Hey guys, everybody out there, you heard it right here. Kellita needs to be weak.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I absolutely should have brought popcorn in here. Oh my god. Oh, we're halfway through the show and we need to talk about more than half of the
Oh,
episode
gosh.
left.
Okay, we got
All right,
this.
keep going.
Focus.
We
Keep
need to
going.
talk about
Focus it.
10K
Focus it.
and the fact that they did the tech support thing and turned him off and on again.
They turned him off and on again? You know, I mean, sometimes, like...
You're
can-
welcome.
Yeah, exactly. They turned him off, then they
killed
turned him
Michelle.
on. Exactly.
Oh God.
And we now know he's, like, not Murphy's type. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murphy's not his savior.
No.
Well,
No,
because
that was
now
a
we know
really
the vaccine
good-
works.
That
Yeah.
was a really
Yeah.
good coming back to life moment.
That was.
And that was also a really good fake out given the episode title.
I will say, I thought this was a particularly powerful moment that I just really loved and appreciated. When Sun Mei came out to Doc and 5K and gave the bad news, it was such a just harsh hospital scene moment, even in the apocalypse. And just that pure humanity aspect of it was just so powerful to me.
Yeah,
I
doctor that says
appreciated that.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
Just
the
the head
people
shake
who have-
and then the crying and the humanity in that moment
Yeah.
of like it didn't work. It's like, oh
Yeah.
God.
I
That's the
know.
two people who have adopted him.
Yeah.
Doc is like, yes, this is my child, and 5K is like, senpai.
Yeah.
Hello, older brother, I love you.
I know.
Okay,
He's
hello,
adorable,
child.
that Holden. No, I like I said, I was in the episode and I watched it and I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was great. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You did too.
Yeah, thanks. You
Oh,
know.
yeah, it was a hell of a ride.
No, it was a great ride, and like you said, the title says everyone dies, but 10K didn't.
Not yet. I'm that
did.
person.
And then he came back
That's
to life.
true.
Well,
He actually did, and Murphy did 4 years ago.
well,
Yeah,
he
really
already
wow.
did.
Just
So
like,
what's happening to
okay.
me?
I mean, hey,
You in the
look,
room, you in the rider.
Going
All
all
I know is that like you're on the ground and you're bleeding and you're breathing
my
hard.
eyes
But
And you're breathing
Murphy's
hard.
blood is in your bloodstream now.
It's so funny because on Twitter, it's so cute. The fans are saying they're answering each other's horror question about if I'm dying. Like there's other fans that are saying she can't die because there's Murphy's blood on the bullet. So duh, what do you? First of all, wait till season 4. And I'm like, I don't even have to answer these people back. It's great.
Well, it's not that
They're doing that in the chat too. Just
Yeah,
they're having a
it's just
completely
racism.
separate conversation in the live chat here. Going theory is that Warren will probably be a blend come next season because the blood on the bullet and we got the nice little super slow motion.
Right.
Provided everyone lives. That's like the caveat to everything we're saying in this show. Provided they live, this might happen.
I love it. I don't know. I had 3 layers of clothes on, so maybe some of that blood gets wiped
Well, and
off.
it went. depends on what it hit.
Exactly.
Because it went just right in the center below the sternum and the lungs. I didn't study
I'm
anatomy.
just saying, if it hit my liver, it is toxic. Don't worry. It's fine. I washed the bullet off with my liver.
Yeah, but you need your liver to live. That's why they call it
that
a
moonshine in the
liver.
apocalypse.
I'll say it again.
That apocalypse moonshine.
Yeah, that's right.
You drink some and then you wash with the rest of
There
it.
you
It's
go.
like
Great,
totally
perfect.
sterile.
It
It's in the
burns.
first aid kit.
There you go. Season 1,
That would be
episode 7.
hilarious. Well, I'm okay. Everything's good. Don't worry. It's pure.
The bullet is good. Take it back, the man.
You
Then
see
we
this
suddenly
nice corsetry
introduce.
I'm
It's
wearing?
never
It hit
been
one of the
introduced.
bones. We're good.
Now
Exactly.
you're like an alcoholic in
Where?
the apocalypse. That'd be pretty funny.
If I was
Suddenly we
alcoholic?
introduce this whole new thing. You're the mechanical alcoholic.
Where do I get the alcohol from? Like,
Someone
I
who's
don't
so
know.
pickled that the zombies just don't even want anything to do
There
with
you
them.
go. That's your
They
immunity.
taste so bad. It's
That's
like,
you've been drinking so much that the zombies don't. And we saw it in 107. Another one. Our first time getting to hang out. When we first hung out
Right.
in one of the world's literally shittiest places.
Well, we first met.
Remind me what 107 was.
That
It's
was
been a
the first
long
The
one,
time.
right?
Foo Bar. It was the Foo
The-
Bar.
Oh, the Foo Bar. That was a blast.
And he directed that. And it was so funny because they usually don't confer with us with the locations that they pick. So we get there.
Well, that was my first time.
Okay, great. So we get there. And
Dismissed.
It's this cow barn, and it's manure everywhere.
Well,
Let alone
like,
just in the bar. But then we
Sounds
had a
about
scene
right.
that we had to do outside of
but qualify the kind of manure. It was like hard discus manure
was cow pies.
with cow patties, but with mold on it.
I don't care about all that. It's still manure. It's
Right.
feces. And
Right.
we're walking through it.
It was basically like cow asbestos.
Yeah, okay. No,
So
that's
still
accurate.
toxic.
Yeah,
Totally.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
Exactly. So
Spores.
we're walking through it, and I'm mindfully trying to find the grass patches as he's trying to give us the direction of the path of where we're going. He was like, "Are you seriously trying to avoid the manure?"
These
like-
are nice shoes.
Yeah, yeah. I am.
Yes.
And he's like, "Are you kidding me? You're supposed to be a badass leader when the camera's rolling." Yeah. But we're just walking out blocking. So I don't need to step on this right now.
You were funny. You were like, I am not her.
No, not her.
She's different. I inhabit her.
I'm not her.
When you start rolling, I will become her. But until then, I'm
No.
her.
No.
Just like I would not do the apocalypse. So, no.
Well, Alicia Perez has stepped up and put a picture of Nat Zhang with blonde hair in the hashtag. He looks kind of like Alfie Allen.
Who's that?
Like who?
Game of Thrones, Theon
Oh.
Greyjoy.
Told you he looks good, huh?
And for everyone going, oh my god, he's 19. No, friends, he was 19 3 years ago. Cool your jets.
Yeah.
I know that because he missed his prom for the audition.
Aww.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. And we've tried to get him into clubs for the past 2 years, and not so good. He's so honest.
Did he turn 21 this year? Or did he turn 21 off in between season?
In his
Or did we turn?
off
Did he
season.
turn 21?
Off season. His birthday's off season.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we gotta go get him fucked up.
And now we're explicit on iTunes.
I think we're behind.
Oh, was I
you
not
can
supposed to say that? Is that gonna get beeped out or something? Sorry.
No, it's just going to get
okay.
us a... Well, I think you can have one before you surpass your PG-13 rating, so
Oh,
we'll
gotcha.
see.
Gotcha.
He'll pay.
I'm really sorry out there.
He'll
I
pay the
didn't
fine.
realize.
It's fine. You know, they're watching this show. They know what we're getting into. It's fine.
Yep.
So we have 10K, who is still alive for the time being. I really liked watching Lucy and the Man. I was not expecting this human side from him.
Right.
Like, that came,
Yeah.
for me, out of nowhere when it first started, but then it just seemed really natural that he was acting like her dad. Turn around, put your seatbelt on. And then talking to her more like an adult and saying, you know, you need to think about your life, especially with the way you're aging. I will take care of you. Don't worry. Like, where did this come from?
I know. I want one.
I just noticed you have like packages for earrings.
Yeah, it's
I was really
Christmas
slow
next
for
week.
that. I know I was totally slow on the draw with that. I'm really slow on the draw. That I don't know what you put in this.
Welcome back to the show.
To answer what you said, though, no. To answer to answer your question, yeah. I mean, those little moments in there were really good. I think that you know, it was important to humanize him.
Yeah.
You know, he's not just a
Fine
Terminator.
hunk of
yeah.
a.
He's not just a fine hunk of a term. I know.
Fine hunk of a
Fine
Terminator.
hunk of a Terminator.
He's, yeah.
That is a heck of a skin suit on that T-1000.
Yeah.
But he's this you know he's this machine, and you just came off of an episode where you see him you know, completely going through like Arnold Schwarzenegger style, just really, you know, ripping things apart and beating the shit out of Addie and all that kind of stuff. And I think that once you see that, in order to reel it back in, even if he is quote unquote a villain or an antagonist or whatever it is that he becomes, I think that it's one of those things where you've got to show the fact that he's actually got a heart. And we don't know what his story is. We don't know what put him into that mindset. You know, we don't know what made him so cold. You know, but we see elements of the humanity dating all the way back to the very first opening season opener. You know,
Yeah.
you see little bits of that humanity. He's holding on to the fact that he can drink a martini.
Yes.
You know,
In flip-flops.
in flip-flops, exactly.
Well, we get this nice little moment from him when he's on the radio saying, plans have changed, I'm cashing in. So I'm wondering if this isn't it for him, that he's decided, yeah, I'm done with Zona. I don't want to do this anymore. I definitely bonded with this small child that I kidnapped, and I'm rethinking things.
Yeah. Yeah, there's. See, I can't answer some of these questions.
I know. Don't get in trouble.
It's okay.
Don't get in trouble.
We understand NDAs. We got it. If you have to just be like, oh, spoilers. We get it. That's
No. The
fine.
fact is that, like, you know, I think that he's definitely got an agenda, and I don't think his agenda is anybody's agenda but his own.
I think that's fair.
That's a very.
That was so
that's a good way to
vague,
put
but
it.
I'm gonna go with you on that.
I know. Did you see? Like, okay.
I just want to know, just say this, in the fight scene with him, first of all, he's a very sexy, hunky man with all protein. So we had this fight
Hold on,
scene.
just say that again.
He's a very hunky,
No, sexy, hunky man.
all protein.
Oh my
because
God.
we had a fight scene, and he said, you know, just hit me, let's, you know, do it. Like, he's like another kid, like, let's do it. But at the same time, he's about safety. He's more about safety than I am. But he's really about safety. And so I was hitting him and I was doing stuff, and all of a sudden I had this blood vessel that burst and it swole up, and then I couldn't find my knuckles anymore. And I was like, dude, I need you to, like, eat a potato. Get some fat in there. Like, everything I'm hitting is a wall. I don't do this.
It's like when you see boxers punching a slab of meat.
Oh God! And he's thicker than that. He's like all solid.
Hold on. This is, you know what's crazy? I was going to the DGA the other day to watch Rogue One, and I sure as heck walk into Joe, who plays the man.
Yeah.
And Joe is walking to
The gym.
He's going up the escalators to crunch, and he stops and he's, hello, how are you today? You know, and you're just like, hey, what's up, man? And he's like, I'm just going to go get a workout.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to go browse CB too, because I've got 45 minutes of, like, chill time.
He doesn't miss a day. I
know.
can vouch for
Wow.
that. I finally got my knuckles back.
I know.
Wow.
But he's great to play with. He's great. I mean, I think all of the additions that we've had thus far have been really great. They've been spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been so much fun to watch.
Trust
And
me.
watching the fight scene with him and Murphy and seeing Murphy catch a punch and hold his own, I think we're starting to get an inkling into what season 4 Murphy might look like, because every season we've had a different or evolving set of powers, and I think this is kind of what we're starting to look at now. So we'll see. Clues.
Spoiler. Don't say it.
You know?
I'm trying to look at the camera and
As
not
long
your
as-
face
as
to
long
try
as-
to let you
as
off the
long
hook.
as-
Staring him
As
down.
long as he doesn't
Popcorn
bleed
popcorn.
out.
Well, yeah.
Oh, was that a zombie science?
No, I don't
Hashtag
know.
Z Nation
I
Science
don't know
has
if he's.
basically been
I don't
this
know
whole
if,
season.
I don't know
yeah.
if he's gonna bleed out. Then he might come back as like Murphy the Vampire. I don't know.
A vampire? No.
I don't know. I'm just saying that.
And we're
I'm
mixing our
I'm saying
genres.
that to be
Blood
silly.
instead of brains.
Okay.
I'm saying that. No, but the thing is
Both
like
make a
no. You
smoothie.
see Murphy. Like the thing that's cool about Murphy is the first time you see him get really like aggressive and so forth, or at least the first time I remember him getting aggressive was in. I feel like I'm like quoting my own episodes here. I feel really.
Just do it.
Well,
it's what you do
narcissistic.
best.
It's clearly you watch your own. But
No, in episode 1
because he had a
bites the dude.
but he had a fight in
He bites the dude.
in episode 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. He bites the dude.
Yeah.
He gets really pissed off, bites the dude.
Right.
We realize that he's got something in him.
Right.
Then later in that season, John did one where he bashes a guy's head in.
Yeah.
And then later in
And then the mind control came in the season 1, episode 12.
in 12.
Yeah.
No, that was 2. That was in 12.
No.
That was
12.
No, it was. It was when he was spitting in the cups and lifting
Yeah.
it all up.
Come on, I was
and
there.
Then yeah, you were there every day. And then in 202 he survives that hellacious high fall.
That's true.
He survives that hellacious high fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see what.
But
else?
in terms of the power and attacking.
Yeah, and then he takes the mind control to the next level and starts getting everybody to do their own thing by 12, 13.
So he's kind of turning into a comic book anti-hero. Let's go with that for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
With great outfits.
Yeah, with great
Yeah.
outfits.
The
He
outfits.
does have
my
great outfits.
God.
He
Oh my
looks
God.
impeccable.
My favorite
Turns out
outfit
you
though is
become a
the
snappy dresser when you're the savior of
Oh,
humanity.
First
Totally.
of all, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Because we haven't worked together in every episode. And so when I finally worked with him, I was like, is this some
I know he's got the Das Boot look going on.
It looks great. It looks
Yeah.
great. It looks
It's
great.
like it's like
Peacock
it's
and all
like
that. It looks
It's
great.
a very nice peacock.
totally. It's like
That's
Ziggy
great.
Stardust just went pimp.
It looks great.
I liked it.
I was like, first
And
of all,
having it over one eye.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
Although my favorite my favorite look of his is from last year's season finale when he was wearing the leopard print
Scarf over
scarf,
his face.
and he had
with the
the
sunglasses.
yeah, he had the big,
shy.
the big fly
With the floppy
eye.
hat.
Yeah, it was
No,
awesome.
I
loved
couldn't
that.
stand that.
I thought that was pretty hot.
I was mad they found a dress.
I would
to
have
fit.
tried to pick him up, had I seen that.
We are getting the indication that we are short on time and we definitely have more to cover.
Oh,
so
you
we
go
need
for
to-
it. You go for it. Sorry.
No, I'm just sitting here enjoying the gossip, but our engineer's like,
Magical.
hey, there's someone after you. And I'm like, no, we're more important. The people after us would disagree.
Yeah, it's all good.
I want to talk a little bit about Grandpa. It was good to see him again after last episode. Grandpa, the hitchhiking zombie.
He was fun.
Just being the compass needle to find Lucy and being horrifyingly strong, actually, especially for a zombie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fun. And Matt Davidson, who plays him, was really fun.
Yeah.
Too. Matt's always like he's done a lot of. In fact, I think I put Matt in almost every single one of these things.
Really?
Because
yeah.
I love putting Matt in stuff like he's the zombie at the
committed.
beginning of 12,
He's committed.
where he grabs the drone and he smashes the drone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Matt's been in a lot of things. You just don't recognize him.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and so I remember it was one of those things where it was like, we should really like have Matt do it. And somebody was like, no, we'll recognize him. And I think it was Carl was like, just shave his head. It'll be fine.
Put some hair on it.
and like he totally shaved his head and his beard, and nobody recognized him. And it was just, and there was all kinds of fun stuff. Like we had to figure out how not to do his eyes the whole time, and it was Ashley who came up with the
glasses
the
were so
smiley
good.
face sunglasses. It was, it was
No,
brilliant.
but then also too, it speaks to Lucy's power.
Yeah.
Right?
Being able to transmit to him, being able to I can't believe I made this pun last episode without realizing it was a pun, bringing some lucidity back to the zombies. Yeah. I said that. It was like, oh, you made a pun. I'm like, oh, God, I did. That was an accident that time.
Hilarious. No, it's great. I love our the guys who come in and the gals who come in and play zombies, and it's so funny because they
You're
usually
welcome.
say, "This is your 6th time killing me." I was like, "Oh God, really? You've changed your hair." But
You look good.
no, but they're so committed and they're so great, and they're down for all of it. All of it. They are amazing.
Down meaning they'll fall in 2
Yeah.
seconds.
Anything.
It was so fun to get to know them and talk to them when we got to go up for that weekend and just be zombies for a day, and that was exhausting. That was embarrassingly exhausting.
It's because it was a blast.
Did you
great.
guys
Oh my
see?
God.
Did you guys see your close-ups in that? In
Yeah.
the opening where you guys are coming out from under
My
in the
mom-
toxic waste.
I was actually in the season 4 trailer that they
She
aired at the end of this
was.
episode. Got a money shot reaching for the camera.
My
Yeah,
mom took
that's my money shot in
screenshots
the
and was
brain.
like, "That's my baby girl," and I was like, "Yeah."
Megan is the most recognizable because her hair was bright red at the time.
Yeah.
So you
Yep.
can just pick her out of the crowd like, yeah, that's Megan. There she is again. They really liked Megan.
That was so fun.
But your mom knows who you are, even in green makeup.
Yep.
There you go.
My mom was like, so we don't watch the show, but we're recording it. So what episodes are you in? I'm like, okay, Mom, you're not going to understand anything, but I'm in this episode at this time.
Would you guys come back?
Oh,
Oh, we're planning on
absolutely.
it.
Oh, awesome.
In a
Oh,
heartbeat.
we're planning.
No, hey, I like it.
It's
I
still
like
kind
it.
of
She's
the
already got it going
ethereal
on.
planning stages. Like,
Yeah.
we
I
would
like her.
definitely do the thing. Okay.
Your
As far as I'm
episode.
concerned, that
Yeah.
is the beginnings of a plan.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
to get back on topic, I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try to get back on topic.
I know, right?
Shout out to all of the regular zombie actors that I know are
Oh,
there
yeah.
like day in and day out working
Yeah.
so
Oh, my
hard.
God.
So great.
They're
Yeah,
the
we met
bomb.
her.
They're the bomb since the beginning, since day one. We've had the most amazing turnout with zombie.
Oh yeah.
I don't even call them
Totally.
extras. I call them actually zombie players.
Yeah, they are zombie players.
They're zombie
I would agree
players.
with
Yeah.
that.
I mean, we
100%.
talked to a few people there that were like, "Oh yeah, I've done this 5 or 6 times. It's great. I'm doing it again." Like, all right.
Yes.
Whenever you go to let's say if some of the regular guys aren't there, whenever you get new people in, you can tell suddenly, and then when you get those new people in, all the people who are there, who are the regulars, who are around the
Players.
new people, they turn and they say,
Do
"No,
this,
you
do
need to
that."
do this."
Yeah.
And they actually will like know the quirks of every single person
Yeah.
there. You know.
No, they
It's-
step in right away because
Yeah.
it's its own community.
Yeah.
It's its own, they're the bomb. They're the
Zombie culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
The
is.
Z's in Z Nation.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're such a blast. Speaking of Z's, we got Zona showing up again. For
We
one,
did.
everyone seems to be losing their immunity and no one can figure out why, hence the desperation for both Murphy and Lucy. And for another, we have the return of the alien hovercraft.
Yeah.
Throwbacks!
Well, actually, it was the alien hovercraft. We had to do some modifications last minute due to some, notes that we got. But the thing is that yes, you're right. It's a modified version of the hovercraft from 209, and
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, from season 2, and it's very, it's
It looked huge.
yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
Scale
Because
was
didn't
a
I shoot
thing.
that hovercraft?
Because
They got more than one?
You did that. They've got. That's the thing is like now we know there's more of these things coming from Zona, and there's different versions of that stuff. And what it is essentially you're starting to get a small glimpse into the world of Zona.
So are we marrying Star Wars and the zombie culture now?
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Is that what we're doing?
No.
That'd be
Yeah.
insane.
I'm just saying, is George Lucas coming? That's all. I just want to make
Do you
sure
want-
I'm,
you want-
I'm right. I want to make sure I'm right.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to him.
Yes. And that hovercraft also had Zone A printed on it. Like the words Zone A. So it's like, that's
did.
where that comes from. Okay, we got you.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, we've known for a long time the man's working with Zona.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know that there is. We've seen glimpses of Zona from the opening of the season, with everybody in the pool hanging
Yep.
out.
And the old person with the martini glass. Like,
Yeah.
yep,
The
here we
question
go.
is who is Mr. Icky Hands?
Right.
That's the
Yeah.
question.
Is that what he's called in the script?
He's called Mr. Icky Hands. I can say that.
God bless.
Mr. Icky Hands. And in fact, Carl was really funny because he was like, no. Do not give him too much color in his hands. He needs to be Mr. Icky Hands. It needs to look really gross to be his hands.
Oh my God.
What was wrong with him?
We don't know. I don't know. I have no
You
clue. I just
know.
know he's Mr. Icky Hands.
Why is he icky?
He's just got icky hands.
Well, I think that's our AfterBuzz TV exclusive. We know his name.
It's better than Mr. Sticky Hands.
Just imagining the man reporting into Mr. Icky Hands.
I
Yes,
know.
I have the package.
Oh,
You went somewhere else. Stop it.
that was unprecedented.
That was not what I was
Sorry.
going for,
I
but okay.
that was my slam on Trump right there. Sorry.
Well, we all live there now. And those last 5 minutes of the episode, what gave us the episode title? Because we have Murphy getting shot, and then Warren getting shot through Murphy. We have Lucy getting away from the man long enough for Addie to tackle the man over the edge of a cliff, Lucy to jump off after them, and 5K to
5K.
jump off after them because he still thinks he's a bird?
To
Crow.
soar off
Crow.
after them. He opened his wings.
Oh yeah, full on wings. And then just poor Doc just got the hell beaten out of him this episode, coming and going.
Yep.
My favorite Doc line, though, in this episode is, roll with it, man. None of this shit makes sense.
Yeah, just like it's the apocalypse at this point. I was fighting off women in skin masks 3 episodes ago. Like, I'm done. I don't even care. I ran through the plane in my underwear and a skinny robe with someone else's beard hair on it and cowboy boots.
Oh.
Forget it. I'm done.
That's true.
I feel
That's
like
probably
the point where it becomes Mad Libs is the point where you just kind of hit your threshold.
Well, yeah. you stop smoking the Z weed for sure.
Except that was real life.
Thank you for that.
And then we have our hovercraft show up and charge its lasers and reflect pink and blue death in everyone's eyes, and then cut to black.
That sums it up pretty much right there. I mean, you know, who doesn't want to have a pink death?
I love it, but what I love is
I think I had one of those in a bar on Sunset once.
Hey, girl.
Do we have more champagne?
Okay.
I don't think
Really?
I've had enough.
No? What?
Yeah. After buzz, we'll get a buzz.
AFTERBUZZ.
And we'll get a buzz.
And there we go.
Oh, do it.
You're having a real good time on that soundboard tonight, aren't you?
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome!
Yes, perfect.
That was great.
Okay, so what's your favorite thing on the soundboard while we're doing this? I think we have to hear it.
No pressure.
Dead silence. That's his favorite thing on the soundboard.
Okay, I got one for you.
Yeah.
He
You ready?
does sound effects. He's
Do
really-
it. Do it.
I can do Greedo.
Oh, God. Here we go. That was...
Right? Come on.
That was awesome.
That was really impressive.
That was. How long have you practiced that?
I was 5 years old when I started doing that.
No, he has a ton of them, and sometimes I have to tell him use your words. Use your words. Use your words.
Okay. So, provided that Warren survives the end of the season, where do you want her character to go from here?
Right.
Where do you want her character to go from here? Kellita would like to be in Doc's position, only it will be big, beefy men.
No. No.
Fanning her while preparing to chop her up and eat her.
No. That's
Well,
the
that
negative.
was horrifying.
Yeah, very
that's a
horrifying.
good dark
No,
turn.
I would rather be in control. I would not want to be as lucid. I'm not sure. I'm open. You know, I'm not clear on what the possibilities are and could be, but I'm very open to them. I think it's very interesting if I do survive with Murphy's blood on the bullet, and what does that mean to
Yeah.
what I may inherit and what I absolutely get to do, and if it means being a piece of a blend of some kind. I don't know if I would conform necessarily to his whole ideology, but I hope I get to do a little Circus of Acrobats or something really powerful.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That would be fun.
Something powerful and fun.
Turn into Spider-Man a little bit.
Yes.
Or just something really,
Upside down kisses.
or some type of apocalyptic Catwoman or something. Or something. I don't know. Just, I'm open. I'm willing to study before I go into that meeting.
And was there anything in this episode where it a happy accident, so to speak? It wasn't planned, but it turned out really well, so you kept it?
The whole
I would say a
episode.
lot of it. No, I would say a lot of it. Yeah, no, I'm actually like in agreement with you on that. Like, I mean, like I said, the endings are all figured out, but it's the little moments that get exciting. And I mean, you have two different kinds of writers, right? Two different kinds of people who get on set. And I'm not a writer first, so you know, when I approach it with Kellita or with Keith or you know, any of the guys and gals that we're working with, it's about like, hey, let's find these little moments and let's make them real.
Yeah.
Let's try to make them as real as we can.
Yeah.
In the amount of time that we've got.
Yeah, and you're good at that. You're good at staying open to our thoughts, you know,
Yeah.
because we read the script and we think of certain things too when we're at home drinking
Yeah.
wine and
Champagne.
going through the script. I'm like, ooh, this and that. And then sometimes it gets shot down by a different director. You'd be like, I really thought hard on that one.
Right, but it's
that
really
one.
but it's really nice. Like there's and one of the things the only thing that I think that you know we generally try to do is we try to block it in a pretty efficient way. And
Yeah,
then
we move
once,
quick.
And then once we block, though, once we do it by numbers, and it's just like, okay, this is the general area, and we've got more or less the marks. Then it's like, all right, well now let's like inject like all the play to it, and in order to get more takes and be able to do more play, then we do a lot of, we kind of get the
Improv.
Yeah.
We improv.
And we just start shooting that. And then if it breaks the continuity, like, I'll be the first one to say, F it. Let's just keep going on that. Because, coming from an editorial background, you can, it'll just determine the cutting. Like, that's sort of the quote about it all.
Yeah.
And then you get those great moments. Like, I think the kiss on the forehead, it was one of those great little improv moments that I liked a lot. And you had done it in one angle, but you didn't do it in another angle because, like, we had done some crossing thing there, and I was like, no, don't forget that thing. That was good. And we were in a camera position which was super tight
now
that
you're all
she could come
technical.
into. It was beautiful. No, but it was just perfect for it. Like, it was perfect for her to do that, and you knew that you were going to use that moment. And Keith improv, like, one of my favorite lines in the whole thing is like, you can't kill what's already dead. That's not a written line. That's Keith making that stuff up. Yeah. And I give him full credit for it because, like, that was a lot of fun, and he looked at me and I was like, this whole catching the fist thing and it being kind of Batman versus Superman stuff. It's like, we need something there, like a movie line. And he looked at me and he's like, well, what are you thinking? I was like, I got to be honest with you right now. I've got 95 other things on my mind.
I've got nothing.
If you've got an idea, throw it out. But, because we were shooting like 2 huge action scenes that day.
We just have to say we move so fast. We move so fast. What we've learned to do is in the rehearsal is to commit to whatever ideas that we've been sitting on, so that if it does work and it sparks something in the director, then the director said, keep that and let's, because we move so fast. I mean, you guys kind of were there.
Yeah.
Kind of get some of that. Like, we really have, our week should be a 9-day shoot, each episode, but we shoot them in 5.
Yeah.
Which is
because you have to.
Yeah.
Yes. And there's no time for it, which is why now we get zombie players that'll get new players and say, no, you need to do this, you need to do that, or you're not going to be in it.
So here's your house.
That just went really dark. Really quick.
I've heard some of the guys say that.
Conform or get cut.
You wanna be in the episode. Yeah. Do this. I've heard them do it, and I've said, way to go. We gotta go.
All right, we got the sign to wrap up, so we need to get this going. I want to talk to you guys for like a minute about iTunes. If anyone has something in the chat they want to say, now's the time. Thank you for listening on iTunes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving us reviews. That is how we stay in this studio as an after show. Our producers do go on and look at those iTunes reviews and say, people watch this show, we should keep it.
Yes.
So best way you can do that, go on to iTunes, look for AfterBuzz TV Z Nation, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, leave us a review. You will get a shout out on the show, and it looks like we got one last week.
We do. Awesome. Shout out to Rainbow iPhone, who gave us 5 stars with the header "Love It," and said, your podcast is awesome, fun, and I love that you have the cast on to chat to.
Awesome.
Hey.
So thank you so much for listening, Rainbow iPhone.
Awesome, Rainbow.
Yeah, so leave a review. If you are in an iTunes store that's not the American store, we have difficulty seeing those. Please screen cap them and put them in the hashtag. Same as if you're listening to the podcast on Google Music, take a screen cap, put it in the hashtag. We do want to see it. We will be checking that hashtag off season. And thank you guys so much for coming in today.
I'm
Do you have any upcoming?
Just really impressed at how fast you can do that after like drinking champagne.
It's just a half a glass.
I host so many shows on this
You
network.
are really good at that.
But it's a half a glass. This is nothing.
Yeah.
It's like ginger ale.
I'm Irish. It works. Are there any upcoming projects that you can tell us about that you're working on or want to talk about, real quick?
I'm working on Z Nation season 4, I think.
Awesome. Yeah, you are. And I'm working towards that, getting fit, and I also do a sitcom called In the Cut that's on Bounce TV.
Nice.
All right, and where can the people find you if they want to keep up with you?
At TCABRAM.
On the Twitters?
That sounds like Target. At Kellita Smith 1, Instagram and Twitter.
Awesome. And you can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Cullen.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That is KIAXET. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. Everything that I'm on is off for the mid-season break, so enjoy the heck out of your holidays.
Yes.
Star Wars Rebels is coming back. You better believe we're going to talk about Rogue One when we come back.
Yes.
Arrow will be back. Voltron is coming in January. We'll keep you updated for the scheduling for that one. And if you would like to follow Megan, who is also doing a billion shows that are also off on break, she is on Twitter at TheMenguin, TheMenguin. Thanks for coming in again,
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone who has watched and listened for the full season. We'll see you for season 4.
See you next season.
Happy holidays.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.